Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babe mums and baby dads all over the world, welcome to the first episode of 2024.
Yes,
Take the Rim podcast with myself, Rods, aka Never Capping, like I wrote it in lowercase.
Is that how you're gonna start the year?
Honestly.
Until something else comes, that's how we start the year. Yeah. So, as you can see, we're all here.
Mm-hmm.
I am joined. It's not even that I am joined. We are A, B, C, D, E, F, 3 G's on the pod. I ain't talking about connection.
Improvement.
I've got LA Juls in the building.
Yeah, we here.
And we have Clipper Cam.
What's good? What's good?
Reloading the clip. Yeah, he's smiling nowadays because his team's alive.
We lost last night.
Oh yeah,
Of course. It's not course. Don't do that. 'Cause I swear you man won that game to just be at 500. Are you still below 500?
Don't worry about that. As long
Okay.
as if it's twice in a row, that's what happens. You know,
You know, you got to get us, 9 more times to catch up?
I mean, even if you in the 9 times that you beat us, you didn't win anything anyway.
No, we didn't. Didn't win a damn thing. But I mean, you guys won something. It clearly didn't mean a damn thing either.
I mean,
I feel a little bit bad
the
today.
only win we've had really since then is like you and San Antonio Spurs. So that says it all, really.
Jeez.
damn, that's terrible. So before we get into the podcast, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon, leave a good review. Yeah, because we're never negative, so don't be negative. Yeah, and if you're black, don't be negative.
You didn't just say that.
That's
Tell me.
guys.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Yeah. Throw him out. He's ejected. He ejected.
Leave us a good review on all those there, Q&A, all them good things there. If you're listening on YouTube now and you can see as well as hear, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, post notifications, all that good stuff, yeah? 2024, new heights that we must reach, new goals that we must get. We need your help to do it, so do all that good stuff. And, if you guys don't do it, we might consider retirement, like Draymond Green. Oh, no. Did he do it? Yes, he did. So, Draymond Green, the right hook specialist. So, unfortunately, because we don't ever want to really hear these things happen, but obviously it is what it is. So, he considered retiring during his suspension, but Adam Silver talked him out of it, which is quite shocking. Do you want to read the quote, Jules?
Yeah, so the quotes are from Draymond himself. I told him, Adam, this is too much for me. This is too much. It's all becoming too much for me and I'm going to retire. And Adam said, you're making a very rash decision and I won't let you do that. And then Green further praised Adam Silver for what he said. So basically he said, we had a long, great conversation. It was very helpful to me. Very thankful to play in the league with a commission like Adam, who's more about helping you than hurting you, helping you than punishing you. He's more about the players. Draymond. So the thing that I don't like about all of this is that he's not forgetting that did anybody swing his body? Did anybody do it? Because he flung his arm, you know. No one else did. He's moving like someone grabbed his arm, punched my man in the face, and then he's getting the blame. Big man, you did this. Like, I'm so confused as to, I'm going to retire. Bro, you are the one that has done all your shenanigans. It's you. You've got to take responsibility for your actions and your responsibility. Sorry, yeah, you doing that with what? You walking away? Like, bro, you did this. Nobody asked you to do it. And people have been saying, rightly so on the internet, have you got a problem? Ex-pros are saying it. Like, even ex-pros like Terrell Owens, a big ex-NFL star, are saying, yo, like, this is crazy. And what you're seeing here with Draymond is, Like, Adam Silver's arguably needed to talk him out of retiring. Like, he was willing to bail out on his teammates. On his team, firstly, that I've won, three, his two boys in Steph and Clay, that I've won all these rings together. Furthermore, the teammates that you've impacted and derailed in the time you've been off and with this whole media circus you've now created. And then thirdly, the franchise that has backed you. Like, you criticize Steve Kerr for not getting onto him in public and not backing him, and he never threw dirt at Draymond Green. Steve Kerr and the organization always kind of backed him and never made Draymond Green actually get like more shit from the media. But what you saw from Draymond Green, what you're willing to throw your back on your organization as well. Like, to me, it's so weak. It's pathetically weak. Like, you done something, you can't own up to it, you can't take responsibility for it, and you're willing to run away, walk away. You don't understand how many factors and how many things, like, even people have arguably correctly said that your value to what you're getting paid and what you're doing in Golden State isn't there, but you're there because of the legacy and what you've done before. You just walk away because times get hard because of something you did. Bro, like, you're there swinging bodies and acting like the toughest guy in the court. But bro, you are the one that has done this. Like, it makes absolutely, to me, it's weak, it's pathetic, it's laughable. Like, I can go on all day. I want to hear what you man got to say.
So, me personally, I think it's all BS. The man was never gonna retire. You're on an overpaid $25 million a year contract that only got re-upped last year. You know, them bringing you back is the reason why Jordan Poole is no longer on the team. I think it's very important to state that Draymond Green is 100% lying. There was no way this man was retiring. Because how on your retirement, like when you hand in your letter to the CEO or whoever it is in the company to let them know you're leaving, you know, you say, "Oh, thank you very much for your service. I don't want to work here anymore," something like that. But what would his excuse be? Because I went and punched someone, I'm now saying I'm gonna retire. I think he's just playing the victim at this point. Like, and I'm not like entirely mad at it, because if you do what you got to do to have people forget, and they're gonna definitely forget that, you know, you're out here punching people in the face, putting people in. Let's really recap what he's done this season. Punch people in the face, putting people in headlocks. You know, not really like doing anything he's been in the headlines for, in the news for, has nothing to do with his play on the court, and everything to do with what his hands. I was gonna say what his hands were doing, pause, but like, you know, the punches he's throwing, the Muay Thai, the Jiu-Jitsu, the karate.
The thing is, it's elite level though. Like, you have to give someone like the headlock. Like, he headlocks someone that's like, what, 7 foot now?
And then to prevent him getting headlocked as well,
yeah,
like that takes real skill.
Bro, he might as well go.
He needs to tuck that chin straight away. So that was impressive. I can't
UFC in that, bro.
That was impressive. I think from like a fan perspective of the game, and nothing, like, I'm not a Warriors fan, I'm not a Draymond fan or anything like that, but from like just a general NBA fan's perspective, I don't want to hear any of that, bro. Just say you're sorry, and let's get back to the bag. Like, I don't think there's anything more that needs to be said. I also want to talk about the time off he had, because really, how long did he even miss?
As in this,
The amount of games.
So the first incident this season, he earned a 5-game suspension.
And that was for putting Rudy Gobert. I'm just
reading.
Master lock, yep.
So that indefinite suspension.
12 games. No.
So apparently it's been 12 games he's missed.
Is that it?
So far.
So you're telling me, wait, so he got a 5-game suspension for putting someone in a headlock, and then what? He got no additional, nothing on top of the additional. Nothing additional on top of the 12 that he's missed now, right? For punching Nurkic. Or did he get a suspension?
He didn't get a suspension for. Like, he got suspended, but it was because he
it was suspended indefinitely, and
yeah.
indefinitely has turned out to be 12 games.
But I think he's still. They said like another week away.
Yeah, so he'll probably miss another 3-4. So in total, probably get to 15 games.
15, yeah.
So let's ask the question that I hope you guys are thinking about as well. Is what Draymond Green has done this season to miss potentially a total of 20 games worse than what Ja Morant did, who got a total of 25 games?
It's a techie one because it's an accumulation.
Both of them were accumulations though, weren't they? If you add context to it, Ja had a warning. Draymond got a warning this season. Like, we're not even talking about what Draymond was doing last season when he punched Jordan Poole in the face.
Or when he stamped on
Sabonis' ribs. Or when he was kicking man in the nuts in the NBA finals and stuff like that caused him to miss game 6. And ultimately the Warriors lose that series. Like, if we're really being honest, Draymond's done a lot more over the length of his career than Ja Morant has done in a few years that he's been in the league with all this brandishing gun business, yeah? And like we established, what Ja Morant did was not necessarily illegal, it just made the league look bad. But you're telling me this don't make the league look bad? Like, be honest, does this not make the league look bad?
I believe within the league, is their counter argument to all of this. They would say it's still within the game in comparison to Jaws. Jaws is outside of the game and is deemed an offense and something that is prohibited. Like what Draymond is doing is within the game, but it's just so dangerous. It's so poor. It's a really dirty side, but it is within the game. So I think that's the argument the league will give. But what you just said is 100% true. Like he's done it so many times. Can you say it should be less than Jaws?
Like, over Draymond's career total, he's missed more games than Ja did for this whole for the whole situation. But again, there's way more occurrences of Draymond doing what he's been doing than like for me to believe anyway that like every time he gets suspended, he really takes time to reflect on what he's done and check. Like, he hasn't changed. You can't tell me Draymond Green has changed at all. Because, like I said, he's been doing this for so long. The number of suspensions he's had, the whole technical situation that he gets into as well. And the reality situation is, I think we looked at it when the highlight tape came out of him fighting and getting into scraps and stuff like that. He only ever really fights people that he knows he's definitely going to win against. But when it comes to going up against the crazy guys in the league, like Isaiah Stewart and stuff like that, he's not, the energy is not the same because he knows there are guys out there that don't care. Like,
that will actually like punch him up with no.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
It's been established. No one in the league is fighting, innit?
Yeah.
Or no one in the right mind in the league is fighting. But there's a few guys in the league that probably ain't in the right mind. I just find it so interesting to see that like he's now looked at as a victim, and I don't agree with it.
You know what this is? This is what you call great PR.
Oh, 100%.
Because we have to deep it. He's been reinstated. If now none of this came out and he's been reinstated, there's going to be an extra eye on him. People are going to troll him. The fans are going to troll him. All these things will start to happen, right? But now that this has come out, everyone's thinking, rah. Maybe not everyone, but a majority of people are like, okay, maybe we're doing a bit too much. Like
basically that.
The guy's considering retiring, so maybe it was obviously there was more to it than what we thought, so we should take it easy, da-da-da.
You know, mental health route.
He's coming back, and maybe there might have been something that Draymond was personally going through where he's being this violent or whatever in it. But it doesn't mean or warrant that, you can swing and get away with it.
Bro, 100%.
That's the thing. So with him, it's like, okay, if that's what you consider doing, that's fine. Whether it's true or not, we will never know until maybe when he's finished and he says, I bought crap that in it. But what was done, it was all timed, because I'm sure this could have either come out earlier or this could have even come out at the end of the season. It could have come out way later. You know, things can end up coming way later than you know what it is. But it just made sense for him now. Now that he's reinstated, like, you have to see, with everything going on with the Warriors, and then for this to happen as well. So now he's put this on. It's like, it's made, when you deep it, people have already forgotten. Like,
no one's talking about it, maybe. Maybe not forgotten, but yeah, definitely no one.
But it's at the back of people's minds, and no one's talking about it. So, and with other drama happening, it was the perfect time to slide this in there as well, just to be like, okay, there's a lot of drama happening, and he was considering this. So now, obviously, all the Warriors fans are like, yo, hey, we're little lamb, you got to leave us alone. It's just great PR, on top of if it's true or not. So, but yeah, I don't think he really did consider retiring. Like you say, the money that you're on, there's no way you're going to retire. You telling me you're going to walk away from that money that just got re-upped? Absolutely no way. Absolutely no chance.
What you're just saying, I definitely think is true, because the timing of it, like you said, he's now been reinstated. Him dropping this has now made the questions come out, like, is he mentally or like mental health? And rightly so, when that is considered, people do have to ease off, because at the end of the day, that's someone's mental health. is obviously the key topic of the story, innit? But what I don't like I don't know if this is gonna sit well with his teammates. Like, you got to consider that him saying this, like I said originally, that shows that he was willing to turn his back on his teammates, his franchise, whatever. So, do you reckon that his teammates like understand that this is possibly a PA thing, or do you believe PR thing, or do you believe that this is him being like truthful and like how do you feel as a teammate you will take it?
I'm telling you 100%, bro. There's no way anyone in their right mind believes this man is really going to make a change about anything. Like I said, he's been doing this. He's been doing this. He got suspended earlier in this season for doing something like this. And that one was way more justified.
Yeah.
This one, you can't justify it. So I just think at this point, like, I'm probably just not like looking too deeply into it. Like, maybe everyone's accepted that is who Draymond is. He's going to continue doing it. And he's going to be my teammate until Steve Kerr or who's the new it's Mike Dunleavy now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Steve Kerr or Mike Dunleavy say, you know what, yeah, enough is enough, it's time to go. And you know what, with everything going on in the Warriors locker room right now, between Steve Kerr and some of the other players, I think they could potentially look at moving Draymond, because I saw something come out that said, oh yeah, they're like sticking with their veteran core going forward. Bear in mind, they're saying this while Klay Thompson does not have a contract for next season. Like, believe what you want to believe in it. But me personally, I just think they're just going to ride out the rest of this year and then see what they can do to make the team better. But I just think if I was a teammate of Draymond Green's, I'd just say, yeah, this brother's like, he does what he does. He thinks he's doing it for the better of the team, but his actions are a bit selfish, innit? And all I would care about is accountability. Like you were saying at the beginning, Jules, like if you're saying you were going to retire, like, I don't really believe that anyway. I think what you should do is just say, own up, which he kind of did say, and say, like, eventually say, I was in the wrong, I apologize to Nurkic for him in the face and stuff like that. But all this other stuff, like, again, I'm saying this without knowing if like he has got any type of mental health issues or anything like that. But even if that's the case, I don't think it's an excuse for punching people in the head.
Something interesting that you said there as well, which obviously kind of leads into other things, is obviously the Warriors saying that they're going to stick with their veteran core. Now, there might be some truth to that, possibly considering all the things that's happening around the Warriors. So if you don't know, their young core has started some fire in the house. Yeah. So Moody basically wants out.
As he should.
Yeah. And Kuminga doesn't believe in Steve Kerr. He don't believe he could reach the potential that he has with Steve Kerr. And I'd second that, because in certain moments where Steve Kerr has benched him, where you have to deep it, Wiggins, they've been angry at Wiggins' conditioning and all that stuff. So they say, okay, Wiggins, you're going to the bench, we're going to start Kuminga. Kuminga has been playing well in that position. And even just a prime example, like when he had the ball and he was telling everyone else what to do. He's telling Steph, yeah, go in the court. He's telling Klay, yeah, no, go across this side. Let me get the switch on Jaylen Brown, who I don't think is a bad defender. I wouldn't say Jaylen Brown's a bad defender. He's considered a two-way person, a player in the league.
Yeah, he's good.
To wave, obviously, everyone off and say, yo, let's do this, this, and this, and then attack a person with the defensive ability and athletic ability like Jaylen Brown and go get the bucket. It was like, okay, you're seeing flashes of what he could be. Whether that's I'm not saying that he'll be an improvement, but he can defend just as well. And he has more offensively in his bag than Draymond. So, but the way Steve Kerr has been managing these young guys, you can't be surprised that this is happening. But what are you guys' thoughts on this young core wanting out?
I think it's completely warranted, especially from Moses Moody's point of view. And I'm not necessarily because I think he's a great player or anything like that. But Jonathan Kuminga's complaining that he doesn't get playing time.
Yeah.
Moody don't even get as much playing time as Jonathan Kuminga. So, and bear in mind, both these guys are lottery picks, you know?
It's true, yeah.
Both these guys are lottery picks. There are other teams that would have drafted them guys that would have definitely given them a lot more minutes than the Warriors have. And obviously, the counter-argument to that is they got drafted and won a championship.
Yeah.
Look, like the other guys who got drafted ahead of them, none of them can say that. So, that's probably where the trade-off is. But at the end of the day, man, like, you're in the league, yes, to win championships, but also like they're still trying to establish themselves. I think they know full well that at some point the Warriors, whether they were good or not, the Warriors are always going to trade them to try and get another piece to match the timeline of their core guys anyway. So to them, they're trying to play well to increase their trade value, but also for when they go to their next team, like they're not treated in the exact same way that they've been treated. Yeah. I think like just the exact game where all this came from, especially from Kuminga's point of view, was the Denver game, where Kuminga played 19 minutes, had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in 19 minutes. He shot 5 of 7 from the field. And then he sat near enough. He sat the whole fourth quarter, but he also sat a lot of a fair bit of the third as well. But then you look at like the box score anyway. He was the third highest scorer on that team.
Yeah, he gets benched in
behind Steph and Clay, as it should be. But you've got guys like Chris Paul who played 30 minutes.
What did he do?
Looney played 22 minutes. Wiggins played 27. Saric played 23. Trace Jackson Davis played 21 as well.
What did Wiggins do that game?
Wiggins had 11 and 3.
So my thing is that what I don't understand is you bench Wiggins because of how he's been playing and his conditioning to make Kuminga step up and basically play that role, which he's been capable of doing in a game where it is a contender that you're playing against. So you're playing against the defending champs.
Yeah.
The stats, what he's doing on the court is effective, efficient. So I don't understand why you then bench him to bring on a person that you bench because of conditioning, and so, it makes no sense.
Let's talk about it again. The Warriors are up, I believe, 18 points in this game. In the fourth quarter, I believe even they were up that much in the fourth quarter. Your third leading scorer was not on the court for the entire of the fourth. To me, it just don't make sense. When he was on the court, you guys were winning. When he came off the court, I'm not going to say they instantly started losing, but like...
Started slipping away.
So third quarter, they outscored the Nuggets 44-24. So they outscored the Nuggets by 20 points. Then in the fourth quarter, they got outscored 36-20. So they got outscored by 16 points. I'm just not understanding where, who, what, where, how, why, when...
I want to
what Steve Kerr's thinking. I don't get it.
I want to touch on something I've been reading and I've even just seen it again now. So you're talking about obviously Moody, Kuminga, and I want to take it back to their most recent draft. So the last 5 drafts, 2018 to 2022, Golden State have obviously drafted 12 players. We're talking about the players that have been traded away in this time. James Wiseman, he was selected number 2 in 2020. Yeah. He was traded 60 games into his Warriors career. Jordan Poole was a first-round pick in 2019. Was traded after his 3rd season, obviously after what we just spoke about with Draymond. Patrick Bolden Jr., 2022 first-rounder. But he got traded as part of the Jordan Poole. So to basically round this all up, of the 12 players they've selected in those 5 drafts, the only lottery picks that remain are Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. So like this begs the question as to where Golden State need to think. Like you've got your experienced core, Steph, Draymond, Clay. That obviously you talk about experience. You talk about this is what you still believe is the basis of Golden State. But you're drafting guys that you're not able to put within the system to coexist to really bring up. Like you saw what I thought, especially when they won their last chip, that Jordan Poole was the person to kind of take over. You always said that the first splash brother, whatever it would be. And when they drafted Kuminga, I was very excited because I thought, again, he's possibly what they needed. Moody, again, I thought it was a shrewd pickup. Like they drafted very well to get him. Yeah. But what is starting to come about is they're not drafting well. Well, they're not able to. They're drafting well, in my opinion. I think their pickups are good and smart.
They're not drafting for the system.
That's what I mean, and it's not fitting in. It's not embedded, and this is whereby does it come down to impatience? Does it come down to Steve Kerr's like negligence? I would say with not really trying to put them in. Was it poor development? Like what is it with Golden State?
Do you know what? I think you're right and wrong at the same time. I think you're right in saying that yes, they're not drafting for the system, but I think when you're a team like them, who bear in mind for years. like all those years they were going to the finals, right up until 2020, the year they didn't make it.
Yeah.
They were getting like, they had the 29th, the 30th pick. Sometimes they only had second round picks, stuff like that. They were making by far the best they could out of a situation. Like Jordan Poole, I think might have been the 29th pick or something like that. And obviously they got Wiseman the year that Clay tore his ACL, KD just left. Steph, was it his shoulder or his arm or something?
Out the whole season.
But Steph basically didn't play most of the season as well. So it was literally just a bunch of young boys running around there doing whatever they wanted.
Draymond.
And that's how they ended up with, I believe, James Wiseman. And then the Kuminga pick, I believe, which was number 7. I think that was from the Sacramento Kings one year. Like they've been utilizing the draft to just draft the best player available, so that they can move that person when necessary to get another player. Which like I don't necessarily disagree with, but it's just like, if that's the case, trade them. Like don't put guys in a situation where they've been drafted by a franchise that they believe we're actually going to keep them around. Because I think a lot of people thought that they drafted Wiseman to address the fact that they need a center, and I think they did. Yeah. They did draft him for that reason. They should have drafted Melo. Like I think everyone was. There's a lot of guys they could have taken Halliburton as well. Loads of guys could have taken, but like, we don't need a guard. They drafted big man because that was probably their biggest weakness at the time, and it didn't work out with Wiseman. No one really knows why, because he's still not working in Detroit. But when you draft guys like Kuminga, who's an athletic like forward, who people probably said, yeah, when Draymond goes, he could probably slot into that 4 position, literally. Maybe play an athletic 3 whenever, like if Wiggins is injured or something like that, he could start for them. And then guys like Moody as well, who are supposed to be shooters as well, and like could potentially fit within the system. I don't really get it. And then if I was them, I'd be more pissed, because the guy they drafted this year is getting minutes.
Yeah.
Podemski.
Yeah.
He's getting big minutes for them. Like I'm seeing him play in late game situations down the stretch. He's getting a good number of minutes, and he's actually playing pretty well.
No, he's good.
I'm not mad that he's playing. I'm just saying, if I was them, I would be pissed, because
I could have been doing this whole time if you gave me the opportunity.
But you're not giving me the opportunity, so I'd be a bit hurt by that. So I understand why they want out.
I feel like as well with the Warriors, it's like they're still obviously riding on Steph's back. Like, we don't need a guard, we have Steph. Steph's not there forever. He's not there forever, and there was doing a good job with Jordan Poole, and like I say, if that incident never happened,
I think they still would have traded him. You know. Because they were saying he was chatting a lot of shit, like he was getting, and you can see him in Washington right now, like
he's suffering, and I can't lie. It's not like I'm like rooting for him. I'm like, this is what happens when you do too much. Like,
you take it for granted, man. You take a good situation for granted.
Literally, like he should have been like, you should have kept it to a banter level, but you just kept on going and going and going.
He kept cheating on the bad B, and she finally left him.
And it's like, it's one of the ones where it's like,
yo,
at first, yeah, that was my stuff. At first, it was like. They let him get away with it for time, because I remember time ago when Draymond Green was saying, yeah, this rookie guy, he hasn't even done anything, he's chatting crap, and Clay was complaining as well. And Draymond was like, yeah, well, he was basically igniting it. And now look what's happened. You birthed a monster. The monster came out. You didn't want to deal with him and traded him away. But that's the thing. The Warriors is like, I get it, you're holding on to your veteran core. Keyword, veteran. Yeah? Like, and because of the success they brought, when they run a ring, obviously 2022 is like, yeah, we can still keep this going for a bit. But we still need to plan. Literally, you should be having Moses Moody, Kuminga, and then obviously have a guard, this Podetsky, whoever he is. Like, maybe you should be using those 3 to build up the same chemistry that is with Clay, Steph, and Draymond, so that at least once their time is done, you've already established this core with that chemistry to play in this way, and then you add in players wherever the chance comes in it. But I don't know, man. I'm 100%. I'm pointing a finger, the biggest finger at Steve Kerr, because for time,
he's a fraud, man.
The thing is, I've been saying this for so long.
It's so hard to argue that.
No, it's not hard, because I've been saying it for the longest. Steve Kerr is a fraud. Like, the only one that I'm giving him, when the one that they won in 2022, that one, hats off. I give him that one, because it's not like they have an overpowered team. They played well.
Even then, like
yeah, but it's still like it's not like
no, bro. But you look at the talent or the way that people were playing on that team, and you tell me a good head coach that wouldn't have done the same thing.
You have to give credit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that
he worked that well. He did.
The thing is that
what did he tell me? What he did?
the
Tell
way
me what he did.
he still coached well. He
coached well. He gave.
How did he coach well? What?
No, but he gave he did well enough.
He told Steph to play the way he told Steph to do what Steph's been doing his whole career. Like I feel like with Steve Kerr, and I was really really critical of him when he first got there because I was like he was a caretaker for a system that Mark Jackson created.
Yes,
100%. I understand that might not necessarily be the case. However, you cannot hide the fact here that this man has massively benefited from having the best shooter in his team of all time. The best shooter of all time, the best shooting backcourt of all time as well. Like, you can't tell me that's not the case. But a good head coach can bring a team that, like, and it's difficult to say this because the Spurs haven't been good for such a long time that I don't know if I can say Pop would be able to necessarily miraculously make a bad team win. However, there are coaches out there doing a lot with less. Yeah, doing a lot with less. You look at Golden State, right? The years they haven't been good. You look at him and you're like, but they like right now they should be better than they are, regardless of the Draymond situation. You cannot tell me Golden State with that current roster should have a losing record. You can't tell me that.
Yeah, but this is what I would always argue for that chip. Firstly,
22.
To me, his team was like the Celtics were stronger than them. Like they had a stronger team overall in terms of depth. Like they've had the strongest team for me for the last 3 to 4 seasons in terms of full roster.
They could have got beaten in any round at least from the second round onwards. Warriors that year.
Yeah, but I give credit to Kerr because I think he made adjustments. Like I know Draymond was struggling and he managed to make him play. Like he kept him relevant. He did good things and good adjustments within that series.
How he used Wiggins as well.
How he used Wiggins.
I can't lie. He used Wiggins. He did use Wiggins well.
He did well in that.
Did he do anything with Wiggins that anyone else wouldn't have done?
Yeah, but then you're seeing
everyone else has been trying to do it with Wiggins and it's not
trying to do what? Trying to do what with Wiggins?
Make him play the player he's actually supposed to be. The two because he has the ability.
You're seeing it now. Like
he's had the defensive ability to be who he was that year.
He didn't do anything else. He did. And again, I'm really not.
Obviously,
trying to,
it's easier because
actually, wait, let me ask you a question. Is your top 5 head coach in the league right now, Steve Kerr?
You're gonna say yes. So
I could definitely say no. I could definitely say
no.
How?
Just want me to go through.
Who's in the top 5 right now? Who's in the top 5 right now?
Matt Malone.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me make sure this is okay. Go on.
Matt Malone.
Okay.
Nick Nurse.
Okay.
Ty Lue.
Okay.
I could put the brother in OKC ahead of him right now, and you're not gonna argue with me about that.
Okay. You're using that base of this season. Okay. Right now.
You asked me right now. I'm telling you
right now. Okay. Cool. Okay.
I'm trying to think who's wearing.
You said Mike Malone, Nick Nurse, Ty Lue, OKC.
I will give you. Rick Carlisle's better than him. Rick Carlisle's better than him. And I don't even think Rick Carlisle's that good of a head coach, but I think he's better than him.
I thought you were going to say Jason Kidd.
No, because I don't think he's that good of a head coach. I think when you're giving great players, it's expected of you to do good things. The reason Darvin Ham is under so much fire right now is because, and I'm not bringing this up to like throw shade. The reason Darvin Ham is under so much fire right now is because everyone knows they have a championship quality team that are not playing like it. Why are you not looking at the Golden State Warriors the exact same way?
Because I don't think they're championship quality.
Why?
I think Steph Curry is playing at a championship level point guard. Obviously, he's championship.
That's what he did in 22. This is what I'm saying.
But Steve Kerr did well in that postseason.
Ronnie, you see
to
what
get
I'm saying?
Them. No, like what he's doing now. Like I'm not saying that he's like you can give mad credit for what he's doing now.
To Steve Kerr.
To Steve Kerr, yeah. And he definitely deserves. And I think it gets overlooked a lot in the media. A lot of people just bypassed it or whatever. But I don't think you can really sit here and argue that he's not a top 5.
Let me tell you a fact, and I know this is a fact. If the Warriors don't make the playoffs this year, people will blame Draymond Green before they blame Steve Kerr.
100%. That one, 100%.
And it shouldn't be. This is what I'm saying.
That's the truth, and that's the
No, it's not. Because it's not the truth. No, it's not, bro.
No. I mean, that's no. What you're saying is true.
Okay,
No. That's the media. No. I said what you're saying is right.
Because
but the thing is, that's bad.
What you're saying.
How can you blame Draymond Green instead of Steve Kerr when Steve Kerr is not giving the minutes to the young guys who have the potential to help the team grow?
Ronnie's on my wave.
Who is basically, I don't know if I don't know if he's trying to demotivate Klay to motivate Klay. And then when it comes to Steph, this is exactly how Steve Kerr coaches Steph. I'm gonna show you how.
Go on.
Hey Steph, do you? Good talk. That's it.
Don't talk about nothing, bro.
You don't even say. You don't even have to say it. All they say is.
They don't talk about nothing. And I think another reason why I don't think Steve Kerr is a great coach is because what young player has developed under him.
Honest, yeah.
Yeah, but then everyone will argue the truth of the matter is the three did develop under him.
No, they didn't.
The three they've won 4 chips with Steve Kerr. I'm not saying that they weren't. Obviously, Mark Jackson is what started it off, but they developed enough to.
Steph was moving brazy before Steve.
Bro,
Kerr
to win 4 chips, Steve Kerr managed to develop them to a place where they are able to be in that position.
Develop. I'm not gonna say.
Like enhance them, even if these men will like.
No,
there, he got them
it's
there.
because the first
put them over the ump.
One thing, okay, one thing I'll say is the first chip that they want to get there. Obviously, yes, there was a lot of injuries in that playoff run because when we look at the history of the Warriors in the postseason before getting to the finals, at least first or second round or second or conference final, at least 2 rounds. There's key injuries always, and obviously he managed to get his team there and to get to the finals through injuries. And then what happens in the finals? 2 key injuries as well. Then after that is now, Then after that postseason. Let's deep this as well. Look, I can't lie. Cam has a very strong point because when you look at, the thing is,
I'm just trying to give counter argument.
But the thing is, when you look after that first season where they obviously won the chip and everything, with obviously all the injuries, whatever happens,
then they go and blow what a 3-1 lead.
But the thing is, before even blowing that 3-1 lead, there was before that. Besides the conference finals, I can't remember who they played, but I think there was playing. I can't remember who they played, but I know there was injuries there, and then. That year, Steph was unanimous MVP. He was playing out of his mind. You have to understand this. Steph was playing so out of his mind. This is just an example of how little Steve Kerr has to do. Kevin Durant was on that team, yes?
What year are you talking about? The year they first won their chip?
No, so this is the year after.
The first time they won their chip, I remember that obviously Dellavedova was playing with LeBron because Kyrie and Kevin.
Yeah, I know. And then there was that. I'm saying that after that year, the year after that, where they blew the 3-1 lead. I'm saying to get there, Steph was playing out of his mind. Klay was also like they was moving brazy.
They had a 73-9 record, and that's where Steve Kerr gets a lot of his accolades that he had. Yeah, he was coaching the best team of all time. But again, like Rodney's saying,
Steph was playing out of his mind. And what we have to also deep is the reason why I'm saying is why I'm just going to dip into what happened after Zoe when I got KD is the fact that KD was on that team. So it was Steph, Klay, Draymond, KD. When you look at the clips of the postseason and you look at the clips during the game, Steph was getting triple teamed with KD on the team. KD's on the team and Steph is still getting triple teamed. You don't have to coach anything. There's 3 players on 1. All I have to do is throw the ball to now a 6-7 foot KD.
Bro, it's 4
Klay.
4 Hall of Famers.
Bro, you have to deep it. Like that year, come on. Unanimous MVP. He's playing out of it. You don't have to anyone. I'm not saying everyone would have got 7-3-9, but the way Steph was playing was ridiculous that season. And then on top of that, you would forget about Klay because of how mad Steph was moving, and now Klay is hitting you with like 7 threes a game.
Klay dropped 60, I believe, in
4 dribbles.
Yeah,
4 dribbles. Woo. Like the thing is that after that year is a 50-50. Like yes, they did play well, 7-3-9. That's great, and whatever's happened throughout the postseason, cool. And then obviously coming back 3-1 against OKC, that one there, you don't even say that Steve Kerr out-coached because it wasn't, none of those, all the games that they came, all the games that they played, not one person on this earth, maybe only Warriors fans because they're that delusional, they will say
attribute
that.
those wins to Steve Kerr.
But Steve Kerr did not out-coach any single game in coming back in that 3-1. It was literally complete floppers from KD because every time you look back at that,
Russ,
all you'll see is KD and Russ literally literally, and they just simply flopped. And then game 6, Klay, game going off. So it's like he didn't ever have, like, for me personally, I can't lie. I'm gonna say it personally. I don't think Steve Kerr in any NBA finals or even conference finals has. I don't think even in the postseason, I don't ever
That's
think
so
Steve
wild.
Kerr has ever outcoached a coach.
That's so wild.
No, it's not wild.
It is wild, man.
Bro, you have to- I don't think
I haven't got time
ever-
to sit and dissect
Bro,
every
he's-
single
No,
series. But bro,
Jules-
he's definitely outcoached
Jules,
someone.
Jules,
You cannot hide from that. He's
Yes, you can.
No,
Yes, you
every
can.
single
You can.
postseason game he's
Okay,
played.
let me tell you this.
Like every series. That's
Julian,
impossible, bro.
If you go to the Warriors,
You win 4
and
chips
you know-
and he's not outcoached
okay,
one.
Okay, of course, because the 2 chips you had 4 All Stars.
I know.
the 2 chips.
I know.
The 2 chips.
I know. I didn't
Don't
like
say
it.
also say Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Hall
Hall
of
of
Fame.
Famers.
You have 4 Hall of Famers. Who do you have to outcoach? If I have the best shooting backcourt in NBA history and then one of the best scorers in NBA history, what the heck am I coaching? Because Klay doesn't need the ball to thrive. KD can fit in any system. Steph can shoot from the whole court anywhere he wants.
Draymond had Defensive Players of the Year.
And all Draymond being the point. Draymond is being the point, and you have Steph and Klay running around like headless chickens and getting the ball swish. Like you don't. Honestly, I don't even think. I don't know how many plays were called, but I need to go back and check.
talk about
'Cause
this.
I
What I'm
don't think
saying, man.
plays were called. Come on, if I swear down. All I need to do is Draymond bring up the ball, dribble handoff, yeah, with Steph. If Steph has an open shot, take it. If not, dribble, penetrate, kick it out to Klay. Klay take the shot. Klay, if it doesn't work, pump fake, drive in, passes KD. When he's driving in, boom. I just thought of that right now, just like that. You can literally run that the whole game, and 5 out of 5 times you are going to score because you're either going to get an open shot, one of the best 2 shooters, or you're going to have open shot with KD, mid-range assassin, or he's driving to the hoop.
Attacking the basket.
It's like it's very, very simple. So I don't.
But then,
I'll say
does
at
he not
least.
drop these plays?
Bro.
No,
This
just
is not
like-
even a play. This is just. Do you know what it
saying.
is? This isn't a play. This is just the knowledge that players have to play 5-out motion offense.
It's not even that. It's just knowing what your guys are good at, and then
That's
putting them,
it.
like it's.
No.
Okay,
Also, I just want to put a little cherry on the top as well. Yeah, you know how you mentioned how OKC had the meltdown that caused the Warriors
Yes,
to
yes.
overturn that. I would attribute what Boston did extremely similar to what OKC
Bro,
did.
because that's what Jason Tatum was doing.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that turnover battle that they were fighting against is
Was
something I haven't
ridiculous.
seen before unless you go back to the OKC series with Golden State where they were up 3-1 and Russ and KD are playing hot potato with the basketball, throwing it away. Rusty's trying to go to the basket on 5 man at one time.
KD's missing every single
And
shot.
he's nervous as well, bro.
Nervous.
Like you can't tell me it's not a simple. So as much as yes, the Warriors won that championship and Andrew Wiggins played very, very well, but who won Finals MVP? Steph Curry. I think we have to look at the real facts. No one will ever say, "Damn, that Warriors team was really good," and their head coach Steve Kerr really got them in a position to win. No, every single time the Warriors have won a championship, you could put at 1 or 2 players and say that's the reason why they won. Even the first championship they won, yeah. Even though loads of injuries again, like you said, with the Cavaliers, Andre Iguodala won Finals MVP, and everyone knows it should have been Steph Curry. It is what it is. Like Iggy played well, yes, but and do you know what? I'll even be fair. Let Steve Kerr take the credit for that one championship for telling Andre Iguodala, who was still a pretty good player at that point in time, I need to give you more minutes. That's his coaching career. Telling Andre Iguodala, who wasn't
playing
at the
devil's
end of-
advocate in it.
I will say this
No,
as
no,
well.
no,
I'm not arguing with you, I'm
No,
just-
no, no.
yeah.
Because I've been putting it out there to
I also-
argue. But let me drop my actual feelings in it. I think, to be brutally honest, like I give credit when a head coach wins a series, but with the Golden State, it's been a bit different because I agree with what you've been saying, especially with the KD era. I think that was quite shameless.
Anyone would have won that. Like
It's very 4 Hall
been
of
saying
Famers.
that.
It almost turned into the postseason. You didn't even want to watch it. And I remember because it was more interesting watching the other games, but it was inevitable what was going to happen. You even look at the Houston series, like when Chris Paul got injured. Like there's so many other ifs,
another
buts,
series.
and maybes within all of this. Like to me, if LeBron has one of Kevin Love or Kyrie, I think they win the first one. I think taking it to 6 games with Dellavedova as your starting point guard, I feel if you had a Kyrie or Kevin Love, LeBron would have won that. Secondly, I think the first year, if Chris Paul doesn't get injured, like I was watching that series, every single play I was watching of that series, I do not think at 3-2 going into Houston at Game 6, if Chris Paul is there, that Houston not close that series out. And you saw what happened. It was,
And on top of that as well, that playoff series, I'll say in terms of outcoaching a coach NBA Finals, I'm gonna stand on that. The whole postseason, wild, maybe not. But
I need to that one's wild.
A majority, because against the Rockets, did Steve Kerr outcoach against the Rockets, or the Rockets just miss 29 straight threes?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Though.
I also feel like
and KD was out of bounds.
Come on,
KD's out of bounds for one of the biggest, bookiest calls.
He
was out of bounds. That causes that play for them to win the game. So, but I think it's wild to say of all postseason all time. But I can definitely, if you're gonna stand on business and argue about finals, there's definitely
finals. I'm standing with postseason.
I have a feeling
I'm
there's
gonna say at
argument.
least 50%.
I think player development has to be a big conversation as well, because there are loads of head coaches out there that have, like, if we say that any coach who's ever had great players now doesn't get any credit for like NBA championships, stuff like that, then we'd be taken away from Phil Jackson and Pop as well, because Pop didn't win anything without Tim Duncan. Pop didn't win anything without he did win without Tony Parker, to be fair. But yeah, he didn't win anything without Tim Duncan. Phil Jackson didn't win anything without Michael or Kobe on his team. Like, those kind of things as well. But Phil Jackson was running a system, which is why he got a lot of credit for his wins.
But you can see with
one of the greatest systems of all time.
You can also see, obviously, even with MJ, you can see that he still had to actually
100%.
out-coach
100%.
and get the team to actually
I also believe in the 90s was a tad different. I think that the Pistons, there was a lot of, like, obviously within that time, some of the teams that had previously beaten the Bulls and the Pistons and obviously Houston, he had to really get to a level. I feel when you're getting to a place where there's 4 Hall of Famers, with it being, to me at the time, 2 top 5 players and Steph and KD in the league, it's very near unprecedented to have 4 Hall of Famers on one team, let alone against, when you're looking at what the Cavs were in LeBron and Kyrie, who were elite superstars. Kevin Love was a star. It's never really going to match up. But to me, I will argue that, look, what the Golden State are right now in terms of the whole organization, they should be performing better, even without. To me, I think their roster isn't good enough, and they need to make changes. But the way that Steph is playing this season, like, he's playing at an outstanding level. If they had more wins, potentially MVP talks, but probably top 10, probably like sitting between 8th to 10th in the MVP talks. 100%. And he's at a level where he could be in those discussions, and his team sitting out of the play-in.
It does also need to be said as well that even in 2019, yes, the Warriors lost because KD tore his Achilles and Klay tore his ACL. But Klay tore his ACL in the last game, though.
Yeah, the series was done, yeah.
They were down 3-1 in that series.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, without KD, that team still shouldn't lose to the Toronto Raptors.
That's why it was such a shock.
Which is what adds to the further point about Steve Kerr and his coaching acumen and his ability. I think he just landed a really, really good situation. And his style of play suits Klay Thompson and Steph Curry as a shooter. I think he just puts them in.
But then this is where I give credit for, is that I still believe that you have to draw up those plays. You have to make a system for them to win, and he did that. Like, even though but Mark Jackson started it, and he completed it. Yeah, I can't hide from.
Just taking his old book and said, "I'm gonna just."
But he ran the plays that has enabled them to become.
But what plays? Like,
you know, the plays that had screen and rolls and stuff running around all of this.
It could just be called.
They're only screen. Like, I'm like, do you know what the difference was from my perspective? Anyway, watching Mark Jackson, I could see what was a play, because they used to run that elevator doors play where they had a dribble handoff turn into. It was David Lee and Andrew Bogut setting like like an elevator door screen. Yeah. So Steph or Klay would run through it. They close it instantly. They'll go to the corner, and like there's no, like, you can't beat that. That's a system. That is a play. But like the Warriors just hide Steph or Klay in one of the corners, and then have another like guy, Draymond or a Looney, just literally lean on the other guy and set such a screen.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's not a system.
No, but I still give credit for him for being able to actually get this, like, do it. Because to me, like, even though he had 4 Hall of Famers, he's had the best backcourt of all time, arguably. Well, yeah, definitely. I still believe he did it. And
did what?
Like, so you're looking at some of the coaches currently with Darwin Ham. His name's Darwin now. Again, that are failing with championship caliber teams that are as poor as anything can be.
Do you give Frank Vogel any credit for winning the championship in the bubble? Why is that?
That was AD and LeBron.
But why?
No, but the reason why I would as well, because Frank Vogel is a defensive especially.
No, he did well defensively.
The way he got the thing is,
dominated.
and through that defense, a lot of you guys' points came from a lot of fast break due to the good defense, and and his coaching elevated Caruso to look like a. I'm not saying he's an amazing
what I just
defender.
said is definitely a lie. I disagree.
And even
I give him partial credit. Yeah, partial.
And
credit.
even like how even Kuzma, the way he made that team look defensively and the chemistry, and then the things that had to a lot of it. Yes, there was a lot of fast break, but that one I'll still give him.
Yeah, he gets partial credit. But that's what I'm saying. Steve Kerr, partial credit doesn't mean 30%. It means still 5%.
I'll give him. I'm still gonna. I'm not saying I'm not gonna give him nothing.
But the argument is valid, and I feel it needs to be said because it gets hid away in the media. I think the media don't really shine a light on it on the basis of he's won 4 championships. He's won how many? 9 if you add his ones at Chicago. So they run off all these agendas that make him. And even we discussed, which the media have again failed, about his handling of the Draymond situations continuously. I feel a lot of things that he's done haven't been head coach worthy. And I think the Draymond situation, you can argue obviously with the rookies and the way he's not able to embed the young people that they've drafted recently.
That's bad coaching. Regardless of what you say, that's bad coaching.
And I do believe that the Warriors should be in a position that you had the 2nd pick, you had the 7th pick, within having 3 Hall of Famers with the best backcourt of all time. They shouldn't be in a position where this should be the easiest transition. Do you know what I mean? Clay and Draymond should be phasing out, and they're able to bring the number 2 pick who they got and the number 7 pick into now having almost a big 3 of, all right, Steph is still one of the greatest players of all time, and you've got the other 2 developing stars now because they've been in the league for a few years to be in a position where they're worth that. So that also does come down to a bit of what is going on coaching wise as well.
Yeah. Well, all we will know, Clay needs to be better, Draymond needs to be better, Steve Kerr needs to be better. Do you know who else needs to be better? The equipment manager at the Bucks. He needs to be better.
That was uncalled for, man.
Apparently,
that was so uncalled for.
So, Giannis had a few words. Can someone get up the quote, please? He had a few words about what's been going on with the Bucks recently, and the headline is "We have to be better." I'm not saying overreaction. I'm not going to say no because if you see a potential problem, you need to address it, especially as the star player on that team.
All right. To get it out,
I've got
it. Yeah.
Giannis said, "Offense is going to be there some nights, and some nights it's not going to be there. Your defensive effort, though, has got to be there. And defensively, our effort wasn't there. There's no pride. Guys were just driving the ball straight line. I drive, get to the paint, overhelping, shooting threes, and offensive rebounds. There was nothing. This wasn't the Milwaukee Bucks. This is not who we are." And then he said, "We have to be better. We have to play better. We have to defend better. We have to trust one another better. We have to be coached better." No shade. Every single thing. Everybody has to be better. It starts from the equipment manager. He has to wash our clothes better. The bench has to be better. The leaders of the team have to be more vocal.
Very.
That is wild.
We have to make more shots. We have to defend better. We have to have a better strategy. We have to be better. We have 4 months to get better, so we'll see.
We'll see. Hey,
the saddest thing about all of this, is the Bucks have only lost 11 games this season. They're sitting on 25 and 11.
But they should be better, and he's right. He's right in saying that.
He's right, and it's
good to.
They're second in the East right now.
Second in the East, yeah.
But I was saying this before. Watching them play, bro, they're not convincing in any of their games.
This is one game here and there, different teams, innit? If it's now a playoff series. They don't. I'm not convinced that can they be a team 4 games in a 7-game series the way they play. No, because they have to deep it. The adjustments, right? And I'm just saying, obviously they have time to get there, but right now it doesn't look super convincing. Defensively, it doesn't look like they're gonna stop much. Yes, Giannis is gonna do what he does, but the team defensively doesn't look like he's gonna be. It's right now. There's a lot of. I'm not saying there's no team has no cracks or no holes, in how they're moving, but it just something feels a bit off with them. Like, it doesn't. I'm not convinced. Like, first round, yeah, maybe, because it might just be a weaker team that they may be able to roll over. But from there, I'm thinking about second round conference finals and like convincingly to like, no, okay, you know what, they can easily get 4 games, or like it just looks weird. It looks like they can run into trouble. Like, if those to verse against the Sixers, it could be issues. The Knicks, it could be issues. Bruv, even if those play 7-game series against the Pacers, it could be
That's
issues.
the one team. I think it's Boston will give them problems, and I think Pacers. Everyone else they won't. I be brutally honest. Like, what they have been a bit wishy-washy. They're lacking consistency. And I think what I expected from this team is what I'm seeing with Boston. I expected more consistency. I expected more domination, where you're getting to late fourth quarters and Giannis and Dame are sitting out. What we're seeing is they're in the battle of, like, they're in the mist. Like, I watched the San Antonio Spurs game, and
gave them a good. They only lost by 4 points.
And but it went right to the wire, and that's not really what the Bucks are meant to be doing against the San Antonio Spurs with 100%. 6 wins or something. So I feel like he's right to call out himself and the rest of the players and the team, and the equipment manager one is wow. That is an unnecessary stray.
No, we get the point though.
Yeah.
The thing is, you know, is low key also. I'm kind of like where I thought. Can I say, like, where they are and what's happening, I'm also low-key like, kind of makes sense as well. Obviously, majority of the team are there, so the gel, yeah. But obviously, to include Dame in that system, and considering where they are now, it's not bad. Like, it's like, okay, there's still teething problems, which I expected there to be. I thought at least the first quarter of the season is going to take, because you have to understand that what Drew's and Damian Lillard's role is still a bit different, because there's more offensive responsibility that Damian Lillard is going to take. On top of that, to get the whole team where Drew was defensively, already we know, and then also he's just kind of fitting into the team as another player there to additionally do what he needs to do in it. Whereas Dame is like, okay, Dame expected to be Dame straight away. No, you think the chemistry is going to come just like that? I'm saying where they are at now is not bad.
Rods, Boston had the exact same thing happen to him this year. No, Boston lost their defensive identity in Marcus Smart. Yeah, their other defensive identity in Robert Williams. They replaced him with Drew Holiday. Yes, you get another defender, but it's still not the same player.
No, but this is
chill. And you replace him with Porzingis, where there's a lack of consistency, because people always know that he's probably going to miss games. They've also shuffled the rosters, now moved Derek White to the starting lineup. Like, I think the key difference in these situations is that one coach knew the team and the other coach didn't. Regardless of chemistry that you're talking about within players, I think
if it was Budenholzer,
and it's his first job. I think they were too hasty to fire Bud. Yeah. I think they should have kept Bud for one more year, let Dame come into that system. They all knew him and stuff like that, as opposed to them bringing Adrian Griffin in and putting him in. Because I'm telling you, he might be the first head coach here to be the second overall seed in a conference and still end up getting fired. Because I just don't think he's. I'm not gonna say I don't think he's ready, but like, there's clear evidence that like something isn't working with them, and it could be system based as well. I was gonna say, like, so if we start from Christmas Day until now, I can understand why Giannis is saying this. They lose to the Knicks on Christmas Day by 7, yeah. They beat the Nets by 22. They beat the Cavs by 8. They lose to the Pacers by 9. Then they lose to the Pacers by 12 in the back-to-back. Like Julian was saying, they only scraped past the Spurs by 4 points. And then now they're losing to the Rockets by 4. Like, that's in a very short period of time. What's that? In 7 games, yeah. You've lost more games than you've won. And I don't think they ever expect for that to happen.
And touching on your point, like, I'm looking at some of the teams they've lost to this season. Obviously, you spoke about the Rockets.
Pacers beat them, 3 times?
4 times.
Yeah.
4 times, including the in-season tournament. So the Pacers have whooped their asses. But some of the other teams they've lost to, like, touching to start like the beginning of the season, they've lost to.
We shut the Rockets in there now.
Yes, you lost to the Rockets. You lost to I've seen the Raptors. Am I going too far back? Yeah, so you lost to the Raptors. There you go. You lost to the
Bulls.
You lost to the Grizzlies. Lost to the Atlanta Hawks. So some of the teams that they've lost to, questions, and that's where Giannis is probably a bit frustrated because it comes down to probably application. And I feel when you're a team of that caliber, it's not about the quality of yourself against the opponent. It's about application. And I feel like if that's what he's basically trying to say, you have to be on it, especially against these teams. Like Houston winning a game is not going to make any difference to their season because they're not really, sorry, Houston. Like some of the other teams that I mentioned, like because Houston are actually doing well this season, but like the Trailblazers or the Raptors or you take these teams that are taking games off you, it doesn't make a difference because they're not really going to do anything with it. Like, these are probably lottery teams in the end. So for me, that they need to wake up. And I agree with the like when Bud got fired, we were all shocked. It
was a bit hasty, man.
It was, to me, it was just very reactionary. Like I know they lost it to Miami Heat in the way they did, and Giannis being injured, but we all kind of addressed that they probably needed roster changes, but roster and head coach, it's a lot to move in one summer, but it's a tricky one because, like you correctly said, there's something that's not right. And when I watch them, it doesn't feel like they've got the minutes allocation right of the right players. I feel like there's still teething problems. Like you see Bobby Portis coming and he's getting on a bit of a run and he gets subbed out. Then there's Lopez coming in. Like it's always a bit. You know what I mean? It doesn't click.
Portis only played 17 minutes, whereas like Marjon Beauchamp was playing 23. Pat Connaughton played 19. I don't know who Andre Jackson is, but he played 12 minutes. I think he's the rookie. He played 12 minutes. Campaign 8 minutes. Like, and then you look at Malik Beasley starting, but only playing 16 minutes. Like, there's clearly, I think they just need to go out. Like, I think they're gonna make a move before the trade deadline to go and put themselves in a position to get another guy who can help with bench scoring, because I think that's probably where they're falling flat. You can't say their starters aren't doing it. Like Giannis had, to be fair, Giannis had 48 and 17, which is ridiculous. But then Chris Middleton had 10 and 5 and 3. Lopez had 7 and 5. Dame had 18, 8 and 2. Malik Beasley had 3 and 1. Like, they didn't shoot well from 3. That's probably the most shocking thing, actually. I think they're shooting worse from 3 than they did when they had Drew Holiday. And everyone thought I thought definitely as well, when they got Dame, they're going to finally like be able to be one of the elite 3-point shooting teams in the league. And yeah, like last night they shot 26.5%. Like, you ain't winning shit with that.
And something that is, I think, has been concerning, which we need to really highlight, is their defense. Defensively this year, they've not been good at all. Like what you saw with Buddha, they were always one of the top 2 to 3 defensive teams in the league. Like opponents' points per game, they're sitting at 119.5. I mean, that is comfortably that's the worst in the top 10, barring Indiana. So they have the second worst. That is even worse than the Toronto Raptors.
What did Rick Carlisle say about Indiana? He's like, you can have a nice, the most beautiful girl in the world, but if she can't play defense, it gets boring quick or something like that.
Yeah, and they are so in the top 11 teams in the Eastern Conference. Bearing in mind there's 15, they have the second worst defense opponent points per game, and you're talking about a team in Indiana who have the highest scoring offense points per game in the league. So their point differential is that. But I feel like this year, what I've seen of them, like they're too easy to score against. Like I don't see that strength that I saw from them defensively last year. Like whenever I watch the Bucks, I just feel like if a team wants to score, they'll score. Whilst when I've watched them over the last few years, I felt like you had to really drop a good play or play some really good offense to score. So I don't know. I think obviously I still believe they'll be fine. I think they're within that roster, and I think Giannis and Dame are so special to me, 2 Hall of Famers. What they can do individually, especially when it comes to playoff and as a duo, I think they'll be fine. But in my very honest opinion, they need to fix things in order to come out of the East. I think Boston are so far clear ahead of what they're doing that they've got a very strong team structure. They're playing at a championship level, and I think the Bucks need to, if they're going to beat them over a 4-game series, they need to buck up their ideas against them and the Pacers that have already beaten them 4 times. And they need to start getting these wins.
I think Giannis and Dame need to work. I don't know if they're running the pick and rolls with them a lot or enough, but I think that's something that they definitely need to just to play off of that as well, innit? So
I don't like their floor spacing either this year. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I've not enjoyed watching it. Like you said, I've watched a few games where they've run the pick and roll, and then Dame looks to swing it, but Connaughton's not in the right place, or Lopez is kind of cutting, or it's all a bit messy when I've watched their offense.
I don't understand why there's not 3 stationary players and just letting them 2 run it, and they just stay in their spots. And then if it comes to you, shoot it. If it doesn't come to you, just get back on defense. Like, I think it's one of them ones. I don't know, man. I just think, obviously, like, I think we're looking very deeply into it. And Giannis is speaking about something early. He's talking about it before it becomes a real problem. Because, like you said, they're still second in the East. Sorry, it's only really like it's showing signs of being a problem. But again, like last year, they got upset by Miami, got upset by the 8th seed, and he understands how important it is. It is to be well seeded. And have that home court advantage, because anything can happen in the playoffs. Yeah. So yeah, I think for him anyway, he understands how serious it is, and he just wants more, because like I said, he had 48 and 17, and they lost the game to Houston.
That's taking a piss.
That's wild.
But there's not only the equipment manager needs to be better. There's also someone else that really needs to be better. Dublin Ham. To me, he looks like a fan rather than a coach. I don't know what on earth is going on at the Lakers, but this Ham, yo, no, it's really bad. Like, defensively, you look like crap. Offensively, if LeBron or AD aren't running some sort of pick and roll or doing something, it's just bad. Like D'Angelo Russell, I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, I think Max Christie as well was having a few issues. Obviously, he wanted more minutes. He was playing well. Cam Reddish, defensively, I mean, does he hold up his own? Yes, but offensively is issues. Like, there's no chemistry or correlation in this team. I just don't like. I watched them playing. It's like AD and LeBron, and then the rest. Like, obviously, I still kind of rate Rui, because I think Rui, he, like, especially when it's time ago where there's a game where I think things were moving stagnant with the Lakers, and then Rui scored like 3 buckets back to back, and then what does that result in? Him being subbed. I'm like, oh wait, what did Darvin just redo that? How does that make sense? But
it's better than the over under, bro.
Honestly, but what is going on in that sector? Because you lot suck right now, and it's really bad. It's really bad.
I'll be brutally honest. Like, we're sitting at, I think, what is it, 3 and 8 since we're in the in-season tournament.
Yeah, 18 and 19 total.
Like, to me, I'm watching us, and like, I can only tell you wholeheartedly, like, as I'm looking at LeBron, I'm looking at AD. These lot, they're playing very well. Reeves is chipping in. I'm seeing some of our players chipping with totals, but what I'm not seeing is, one, coaching on either end of the floor. Mm-hmm. So I'm not seeing the minutes being staggered out correctly. I'm not seeing the correct rotations. I'm not seeing enough offensive, like, actual coaching and plays and systems and movements. Defensively, I'm seeing so many mismatches. I do not think he understands when he's playing against certain players how to actually match them up. And because his rotations are so poor, he manages to put players on that are getting, like, you have a Jokic against a Cam Reddish, and it's like, why is this the case? Why have we not got the correct player actually guarding Jokic or guarding the big man, or got someone that you're leaving shooters with space, but you've got guys that aren't good perimeter defense on the court? And his rotations, to me, and his adjustments are so poor.
Horrible.
It's costing us big time. And the fact that we've won the in-season tournament, you can see the strength of this team. You can see the strength of this duo in LeBron and AD. We got to the Western Conference Finals after the trade deadline. What we did after the trade deadline, but we are the third best team or second best team if you're going off getting to the Western Conference Finals last year. We're looking like comfortably a playing team at best, and it doesn't make any sense. You've won the in-season tournament, which you had to win. I think we won 7-0 in that, so you went 7-0 in that whole tournament, but yet you're 3-8 post that, and I'm watching us. Obviously, we got the big dub yesterday against the Clippers, which is now becoming a norm. But I had to add that one in. But to be honest, like, you're looking at two teams where I don't want to talk about the Clippers too much because we're on the Lakers segment, but a coach that's actually coaching what he's got. And I know it took a big adjustment from Russ to go to the bench, but you're seeing a coach actually look at something and work things out. What you're seeing in Ham is the opposite. You've got the players, you've kind of got the system there, and you're making it not work. You're making your job more difficult by poor rotations, adjustments, and decisions. And to me, whatever's happening between what he's relaying to the players and what's happening by the time they actually get out and run the offense and defense, to me, I just don't like it. And I'm so tired. Like, I don't know if we're going to make this change, but he's hampering us, and he's wasting another year of two of the best players that the NBA's had. I want to hear what you guys have to say, but like, obviously I'm not going to say that it's solely on him. Not me, just not put a little disclaimer. I feel some of the other players have to step up.
D'Angelo Russell.
D'Lo is doing what D'Lo does. Like he's hot one game and he goes 5 games being shocking. And I also believe sometimes his performances make it harder for Ham to actually know, should I start him, should I bench him? But I just don't like it. Like, you're seeing Reeves drops the bench. Your next game, you're seeing Reeves start. Then you're seeing Tour and Prince have 0 points, but then start the next game. To me, it's too much going on. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he knows what to do. So I don't think the players know what to do.
I think there's 2 ways to look at this. One, he's making very, very poor or a lack of coaching adjustments around like your best 2 players. I think the worst thing about this whole situation is that the reason you guys aren't winning has nothing to do with your best players. Has absolutely nothing to do with your best players. I think prior to this season, Anthony Davis had a lot of eyes on him because he said he was going to be better, and he has been better. Anthony Davis has been consistent. He hasn't missed as many games, and when he's played, he has shown up for you guys, and he's done what you've needed him to do. Same with LeBron James. LeBron is at this point, every time LeBron steps on the court, he's exceeding expectations, because no one expects for LeBron to lead the team in scoring, be one of the most aggressive players on the court. He's still making defensive plays as well. Like, I think with that being said, those 2 are doing what they need to do really to be able to at least get wins. You look at other winning teams in the league. You look at Denver, who have Jokic sometimes only taking 3 shots. You look at teams like the Clippers, like you mentioned, where there'll be times where Kawhi doesn't shoot exceptionally well or PG doesn't shoot exceptionally well, but the rest of the team are managing to, cover up for that and help contribute. You look at Boston, for instance, who are currently having pretty much the whole team contributing to wins, all the way down to Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard. Like Boston are out here really having the blueprint of everyone buys into this system, everyone eats, and that's what they're doing, and they're winning. And I think LA needs to do that. I think this is going to be the last year Darvin Ham is the head coach of the Lakers. I think regardless of what happens for you guys, end of season, win championship or not, I just don't think it's going to make sense to... If you win, he's going to hang around, but you're going to do what you did with Vogel and just fire him like 20 games in the season anyway. But yeah, 100%, I think the rest of your team needs to start contributing a lot more. I think D'Angelo Russell is going to get traded before trade deadline. I think the real thing is, I think you guys are going to get DeMar DeRozan. I think that's the move that makes sense for everyone.
I think Levine makes more sense, though.
Why?
Because I feel what Levine could do, depending on who we move, obviously.
What can Levine do?
I feel he could obviously handle the ball a bit better than...
You don't need a ball handler, you got LeBron James.
Yeah, but we need someone that
you
can
don't want
actually...
it just to be LeBron James.
Yeah, but we need someone else.
I'm happy with...
No, but we need someone else that can bring the ball up.
No.
I think he's more of a reliable shooter from the 3 than a DeRozan.
Not saying that's to be the primary, but...
I'm telling you, you guys will be better with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. I'm not saying that DeRozan is necessarily better than LaVine, but in terms of what DeRozan does, he's a scorer.
Yeah, to be fair,
you just need buckets, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys had an extra 20 points every single game, you would win more games. But instead, LeBron's out here kicking to guys who probably won't make the shot. Like, I'm telling you, if you had DeMar DeRozan certified buckets, who can occasionally lead the team in scoring if he needs to. Like, if you guys got DeRozan, LeBron would start taking less shots. Like, it would balance out very, very well. If you got LaVine, I'm not saying he won't. Zach LaVine's also very injury prone, and his contract, you wouldn't be able to get him financially. I think his contract's right now sitting at 40 something. You'd have to trade. You have to trade at least 3 players to get him.
No, it's too much.
Like, it would be too much. Whereas DeRozan, I think he's only on 20 something. Like a lot, like D'Angelo Russell and one other piece would be able to make up that contract. So, and I think it's a lot more likely for Chicago to be willing to part way with DeMar DeRozan, who's currently on the last year of his deal, I believe, than Zach LaVine, who's still got 2 years left. So, if I was you guys, I'm going after DeMar DeRozan to be the third option on that team, and be able to be a very, very solid scoring option for you guys as well.
And like I touched on, obviously in the last segment, that teams that the Bucks had lost to which aren't good enough, and I'm gonna touch on the teams that we've lost to. Like going off since the in-season tournament alone, we've lost to the Mavs, Spurs, the Knicks, the Bulls, Boston, Minnesota, Pelicans, the Heat, and the Grizzlies. Some of these teams, in the Grizzlies, in the Spurs, they don't even have 15 wins combined.
Yeah.
They don't even have 10 wins.
No, combined, come on, man. Like
No. As in, 10 wins each. I think Grizzlies just got to a 10 or 11.
Grizzlies just reached the threshold.
Yeah, and Spurs on like 5 or 6, whatever it is. So you're not losing to teams that are good enough. And you're looking at, I was just looking at LeBron in this whole period. I think he's had sub 20, so below 20 points 3 times. Mm-hmm. In the entire time, he's having 25s, 40-point games, 32-point games, 26s, 34-point games. Like, he's playing at a great level. And I know
39.
That's what makes it worse. That's what makes this worse. Like, he is not meant to be... I'm looking at his minutes alone. 40 minutes, 36, 39, 37, 37, 37, 39, 37, 38, 39, 38 minutes. He's not meant to be doing this. Like you correctly said, what LeBron is doing is abnormal.
Hi!
Points, assists, whatever he's... And then you say minutes at his age. No way. No way.
Yeah, you guys even got him the L on his birthday, man.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Foot on the line.
That was funny though.
That's conspiracy though, because his foot went on the line. But
yeah,
I can be objective in saying that.
But I think a change needs to get made. It won't happen this season, so we just got to ride it out. But it's another season wasted of his greatness, isn't it? And that's the problem.
I think if you guys make the playoffs, literally anything is possible. I never count him out
because he's that good.
Yeah, and AD's still playing very, very well as well.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, Lakers know. Well, a lot of trades that need to be made from the Lakers. Defo should lock in on trying to get DeMar DeRozan. But there's another team in the East. Mm-hmm. Granted, a lot of people have their career highs at MSG. But the Knicks have recently, they've made a trade. A very interesting trade. I'm not fully upset about it. A little portion, yes, but not fully upset. But so the Knicks acquired OG Anunoby from obviously Toronto Raptors, and they send RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and a 2024 second round pick to the Raptors. Now, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm not mad because RJ Barrett is someone that has been the top of people's complaints at the Knicks in terms of, development.
Between him and Julius Randle.
Yeah, him and Julius Randle. Obviously, if it was Julius Randle, that would have been perfecto just because of the age and everything. But however, it wasn't. Definitely a great pickup for the Knicks. Getting OG, you get some defense there.
Yeah. And people would say he's one of the best corner 3-point shooters in the league. They haven't lost a game since they've had him as well.
There we go. So
they haven't lost a single game since they've had him.
And he can use both of his hands, so that's great.
Yeah, actually, they got rid of a left-hand player, replaced him with an ambidextrous player. I think the biggest, really, I think I didn't like the trade initially.
Because I thought the only thing I was like, quickly though,
But looking at it, RJ is currently on a rookie max extension, so he's on 30 something a year. Mm-hmm. Quickly was due a contract this year. They decided to say, you know what, we're gonna move RJ in quick, bring in OG, who 3-and-D player, great job. They also got Precious Achiuwa as well.
Yeah,
Toronto's big man. I think Toronto have done a very, very good trade there. I think the market for
RJ's back in Canada.
They got a Toronto guy back. They brought in Emmanuel Quickly, who's now getting the opportunity to be a starting guard in the NBA, which is what everyone said he should have been able to do at some point for the Knicks anyway. Yep. You've also got a very nice young core in Toronto in Quickly, Scotty Barnes, and RJ Barrett.
Yeah, that's true. That is
very
true.
nice core. You still have Siakam that you can move, and I think they really need to move him before.
They should move him.
But they're winning games as well. They blew out the Warriors. I don't want to say they blew out the Warriors last night. They scored 133 points. I think RJ Barrett had 36. If I'm correct.
Balled out.
I think one for him being back in Toronto is just like it's good vibes. I saw a video of him and Quickly in a car, and they were asking Quickly, "Oh, did RJ tell you about Toronto?" And he did a little Toronto accent.
I need to see this.
You know, he said, "You know how people from Toronto are funny. They have their accents like American/Caribbean,
Yeah,
but
And London. But in London slang, they'd be like, yo, fam.
they say fam a lot.
A lot. And
They
it's
say
like,
fam a lot. But like, I think it's good vibes. I think it's a really good move by Toronto as well, just to bring him. Yeah, RJ had 37, 6 and 6.
Yeah.
Siakam had 16, 6 and 6. Pirtle had 14, 11 and 5. Scotty Barnes had a stinker, 6, 2 and 3. He might have got hurt. He only played 24 minutes. Quickly had 9 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Like, I think they've made a very, very smart decision up in Toronto to say, you know what, we're going to continue this youth movement. We're not going to try and acquire someone else to try and make, like, let us go around. I think this is the first part of their, I'm not even going to call it a rebuild because Scotty Barnes is playing pretty well. RJ's not that young either. Like, they're 22 and 23 respectively, I believe. Yeah. You know, they're just pushing the youth movement a bit more, which I think what they should do. And now they're going to be in a position to, I think, at some point, maybe just before the trade deadline, move Siakam either for draft picks or for another player of a similar age. I think one place they could definitely start looking at is maybe moving Siakam to Golden State. I know people were saying Siakam could potentially land in Sacramento, but then apparently there was a trade on the table and Sacramento said they walked away from it to get Siakam. It should have been an interesting landing spot for him as well.
Do you know what was in the deal? Who they want to?
I believe it was, in my head, what would make sense. I know they're not going to trade any of their core guys, so it wouldn't have been Fox, probably not Sabonis either. I reckon it would have been Harrison Barnes to make the money's work.
Keegan Murray.
I know they definitely want Keegan Murray. There's no chance. Sacramento should trade everyone but Keegan Murray at this point. I'm not saying they should trade anyone, but like definitely do not trade that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think there's a lot of potential for Toronto to make one more move here to get themselves in a position to, you know, speed up this rebuild process without acquiring older guys and just expecting them to do a lot. Like right now, they're currently sitting at 15 and 21. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if you catch them being the 10th seed or something like that. By the end. I don't. That's not great, but you still end up with a lottery pick. And also like I feel like their guys are too good not to get there because they're at 11th seed. They're one win behind the Bulls.
Yeah.
So one win and they're already in the 10th seed. They're already where they need to be.
To me, the top eight is kind of set. I think that's where it'll be.
The fall off is from Brooklyn down.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be that hard for them to get there, to be honest. And I think Brooklyn are already starting to tank games. They already got a fine for not playing healthy players. So don't be surprised if you see Toronto in the play-in. Even if they get out of the play-in, which I don't think they necessarily will. But still, like for them, you're not losing anything.
I mean, for me on the trade, I was initially, I thought the Raptors won this trade massively.
Yeah, I did as well, actually.
I initially thought that the Knicks aren't getting great value for giving, because to me, still, RJ Barrett is, what, number 2 pick? Number three pick.
Off the jaw.
So, to me, it was, and at the time, that was them, like, kind of putting a lot of hopes on him. Obviously, Quickly was arguably 6th man of the year. Last year was in the number 2 in the voting, I think. But for me, it seemed very lopsided. I thought the Raptors won it. But seeing how OG Anunoby's playing, OG. He's playing since he joined the Knicks. It's a really good fit. For me, it just hasn't elevated them to be a team that are now contending. To me, it is a move that's kind of been a bit sideways from all the RJ Barrett and talks that we were hearing, obviously them trading him away. I expected them to kind of get a player that would maybe take them to the next level. I think Anunoby kind of steers the ship a bit. It doesn't really improve them to a level to challenge, but it's a really good fit, and that's what fits are meant to do. That's what basketball's about. So
I have to say though, like you say, it doesn't necessarily. They beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia by 36 points.
I think we'll see.
Like they absolutely blew it. Like, and it was close at some point, and then they just said, "Yeah, fuck it, we're not playing around anymore." And they scored 41 in the second quarter, and then 35 in the fourth. Like it stopped being close pretty quickly as well. Like it's quite surprising to see from them. I'm not saying necessarily like Embiid had 30 and 10, Maxey still had 27, 9 and 4, but the Knicks all contribute in that game. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double-digit scorers from the Knicks, and I think Tibbs. I saw someone say this where normally you never see this, but they literally traded a guy to fit like around the coach's system as opposed to fitting around people saying the Knicks are building around Tibbs as opposed to building around a particular player, which is quite an interesting take. Like I didn't really think about that because RJ wasn't an amazing defender, and like in terms of 3-point shooting, like he's getting better, but he's still not where like they kind of wanted to be. I'm sure Toronto are just happy to get like another scorer like that. So I'm not saying that the Knicks are going to be out here like, you know, putting up crazy numbers and stuff like that. They're currently sitting at 60, but bear in mind, between 4 and 6, they all have the exact same record. So the Knicks really could be the 4th seed if Orlando or Cleveland drop a game.
Yeah, and I think it's so close when you're looking at the standings.
100%. Philadelphia only a few games ahead of them lot as well.
That's what I mean. A lot can change very quickly. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think, like you correctly said, the fit looks more for the system, for the sake of the team rather than a superstar player. And we'll see how it comes when it comes to the end of the season, if it makes a massive difference. But they are 6-4 in their last 10, so they're on the up.
Yeah.
We'll see how this trade works out for, you know, both teams. So yes, we are in January, but something happens next month. Does anyone know what happens next month?
NBA All-Star.
All-Star is happening in February. February.
It's in Vegas this year, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah,
big change from Utah. Let me tell you that.
It's a blessing. It's a
Let
blessing.
me tell you that because they don't do nothing fun in Utah.
So
The driest post parties and that.
They said you're not even allowed to drink there.
You're actually not.
No, like it's a Mormon town, Mormon place, Mormon.
Vegas.
No,
Oh,
Utah, man.
Say yeah.
You know they be drinking. They be doing a lot
Yeah,
of that shit.
no, Utah.
Baby,
Drinking a Mormon, man.
need that Grey Goo, baby.
You know what I mean?
The only thing that happens in Utah is soaking.
Damn, son.
This guy.
Damn, son.
Hey, they soaking it up down there.
Oh my gosh. So I have nothing to say.
Yeah, so we all know that it's not completely dry in Utah.
Oh, come on, Rods, man.
Drip, drip.
That's just. Oh wait, you say this in Indiana?
It's in Indiana. It's not Vegas. Why did I say it was Vegas? Maybe
I feel like something.
Maybe that's the Pro Bowl, you know.
It might be.
Oh no,
It's in Indiana.
Indiana's not as bad. It's not as bad as Utah, but ain't no Vegas. Man says drip drip.
That's just wild, isn't it?
Carry on, please.
But yeah, we've all done our all-star voting, so
Yeah.
we're gonna obviously before we go, we'll just go through who our all-star starters are.
I say we do conference and then positional. So guards, then back. We each do our backcourt, then we each do our front court.
Okay, so go conference, front court. I mean front court, conference, backcourt,
You want me to
and
start?
then front court. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So in the East, my backcourt will consist of first time All-Star Tyrese Maxey
Okay.
and his namesake Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay. That's interesting. So for me, yes, first time All-Star starter, I put Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
And I had started next to him, I had Donovan Mitchell.
Over Halliburton.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just curious why.
I just know.
You forgot about Halliburton. Just say it. It's fine.
No, the thing is, yeah, I think Halliburton should 100% be he's going to be an All-Star. 100%. He'll be an All-Star.
You made it last year as well. This is
Yeah, I just think Donovan Mitchell, he's handling business, man.
Is he handling business?
Check his numbers, man. He's handling business. Bro.
I don't care. I imagine he's not averaging below 25.
No, I think it's just about 25.
So nothing spectacular. No, he's averaging 27.2.
27.2.
Donovan Mitchell,
27.2, 5.7,
5.3.
Yeah.
All right, cool. 1.9 steals. Go ahead, Jules.
1.9 steals.
I had, let me just Yes, I had Tyrese Maxey. I had the 2 Tyreses and
Okay.
Tyrese Halliburton. I
Double
think
T
there's
squared.
there's two shout outs that I hope to make. There was obviously Brunson.
Yeah,
I think you will this time. 'Cause I think Randall got it last time, innit?
Yeah, he did. I hope Brunson makes it. And he's close to me. I think if Maxey isn't playing at this level, it would have been Brunson.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know Donovan Mitchell and Trae Young is having a good season, low key,
Trey's never gonna get credit because the team is shit.
basically. But I think what Maxey's done, I'll give Maxey the 2 Tyrese.
Trey Young has been an all-star, right?
Yeah. He's averaging 27.8, 11 assists, and 3.1.
Trey's numbers are dumb. If you were just looking at numbers,
for a guy that's 6'1",
crazy. His numbers.
the way
are
he
dumb.
can score is incredible, man.
Okay,
Honestly.
we'll go to the front court in the East. So I think everyone's gonna have the exact same 3.
Yeah.
I have Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid. Do either of you have anything different?
No.
Yeah, no, it's the same.
Because what else is there to have, man?
The same. Yeah.
It's the easiest 3 to vote.
Okay.
But you see, when you go on the who else was up there? Obviously, those 3 were there. Who else was there?
As options.
As options, I think they had Randall, Paolo Banchero.
Paolo, shout out to Paolo. Yeah, Paolo
first
should
time,
definitely get All-Star. Shout out to him.
There was Bam.
Did you see his game where he scored 18 straight points?
Paolo.
Yeah. Who's it against? But
Jaylen Brown, obviously, as well.
Jaylen Brown,
Jaylen Brown.
Jimmy's there. Siakam's
Randall.
there. If I'm honest, this is gonna be one of the weakest ones, though. To be honest, like
They're going back to East versus West as well, isn't it?
Yeah, which they should.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
should, man, because it won't be as lopsided as it used to be. I feel like.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, cool. So, should we do?
Got to do the
Do you
West.
want to start with the backcourt in the West, Julian? Start with the guards.
Yeah, so for me, this was supremely difficult.
Really?
No, it was easy, man.
No.
For me, it was easy. Anyway.
To me, it was supremely difficult.
Go on.
I had SGA.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's my guy. And I had Luka.
Interesting.
And obviously, the big one I had to drop out was my boy Steph,
That's a big one. That's not even a big one.
or De'Aaron Fox.
That's not even the big one.
It's Anthony Edwards.
Thank you. That is the big one.
guy.
That is who my backcourt is. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Edwards. Do you know why? Because we're not trying to watch boring basketball. Okay, that's what we're trying to. We're trying to watch Ant trying to fly through the sky, dunk on someone's head. You know, be disrespectful with it as well, talk his shit. I know you man put Luke up in there, but
Luka, 100%.
I put Luka and Shea as well. So, but yeah, no, Anthony Edwards, these guys they will make it as well. How many guards makers outside the stars? How many?
So there's 12 total spots in it. So they'll probably do like 5 guards and 7 front court players. Sorry,
Or 12 spot outside of the stars? Yeah.
No,
Including the stars.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So outside this one, there'll be 7 other players in.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be
three or four guards.
3 guards, 4 others, 4
Yeah.
forwards and bigs.
Yeah, I reckon probably 4 guards, 3 forwards. Well, it depends on it.
I don't know, man. Like, all right, cool. So, who would you have taken? Let me just look at this quickly, because if I look at the backcourt in the West, obviously I didn't say Steph, didn't say Luka, didn't say Fox.
Steph will be there. Fox will be there.
I think
Edwards
Jar's
will
not
be
making it. So the cutoff point.
Jar's not making it.
The only question is Devin Booker gonna make it? Probably not.
Yeah, and that was the big snub in that. He
He's
didn't
gonna
make the
get
first
snubbed
10
again,
anyway,
'cause
yeah.
he's missed some games.
He's gonna get some. I think outside, obviously, with there's gonna be SGA, there's gonna be Luka, there's gonna be Steph, there's gonna be Edwards.
The 5 guys,
And Fox.
The other 5 guys. It's gonna be those 5 guards. There's no one else that it needs to be. It'll be Luka. The guards will be Luka, Shea,
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox, Steph Curry, and Anthony Edwards. And Devin Booker's not gonna make it. And he's gonna talk some shit. Do you know who I feel really bad for? Jamal Murray. I feel really bad for Jamal Murray because I don't think he's ever gonna get an All-Star. You know, because the guards won in the West, but just the guards in the league in general are so good. It's always gonna be difficult for him, man. Always gonna be difficult for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Front court in the West, please, Julian.
All right, so my 3
Might have
were
similar.
Jokic, LeBron,
And
KD.
who?
KD.
Who?
I had KD there.
For what?
KD is an all-star starter this year.
Who do you have?
I have the same, but I
You
feel
know who
like,
should be there.
I feel like
You know who should be
I
there.
rushed the KD.
Put some respect on my guy's name, bro.
Cat.
No, he's gonna say Kawhi Leonard, man.
Why would I not say Kawhi? What's your reason for Kawhi not being there?
Because I think obviously LeBron and Jokic.
Yeah, that's not a question. I'm not talking about them two. I'm talking about
KD and Kawhi.
I think KD's numbers are better.
How many games does KD even play, bro?
KD?
This is the first time I can ever say that Kawhi's played more games than someone else.
It's actually wild. No, but I've watched both players this year.
Kawhi will still.
And I would say obviously Kawhi is an all-star. KD's a starter for me. I've watched both of them play. I think KD's still playing at.
Yeah, he's elite, bro. 29, 6 and 6.
A stupid level, and I think Kawhi still has more to get back to his insane level.
And also, is maybe because now that there's, Harden as well, it obviously is going to diminish his numbers anyway. Because take Harden out of that and kept it with Russ, bro. Kawhi maybe will be, because what's averaging, 24?
Kawhi?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how it is, bro. Do you know how difficult it would be to average 24 points on a team?
See,
when
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Take
scores?
away Harden, he's probably averaging 27, 28.
You know, Kawhi this year has missed 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
KD has missed 9 games.
You know, I just guessed that as well.
Yes.
yeah, I just said 9.
I'm just saying, and also let's talk about team record as well, innit? Phoenix are currently sitting at the 9th seed. Clippers are currently sitting at the 4th seed. But it doesn't matter because, like I said, both guys are going to get in. That's not a question.
Yeah.
But, I'm just saying, I'm giving my guy the respect he deserves.
Oh, so do you want to talk about the voting returns? What the first voting returns came back?
Do you have it in front of me?
I do.
Go ahead.
So obviously in the East front court, Giannis was at 2 million.
Damn.
2.1 mil. Embiid at 1.8. Tatum at 1.7. And obviously there's a massive gap of nearly 1 million votes. You got Butler sitting at 767,000.
Butler's the next one after Tatum.
A million less, almost. Basically 1 million less after Tatum. So that 3 should stay the same. In the guards, you've got Tyrese Halliburton at 1.3 mil. Dame at 955, so just shy of a mil.
I don't know.
Then you've got Trey at 873, Donovan at 624, Tyrese at 480.
See, that's not
Brunson at 374. So it's
that would be actually really sad if Jalen Brunson don't make it.
Yeah.
He needs
sad if
a
Jalen
lot.
Brunson don't make it.
I really want.
Dame don't really deserve to be there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He don't really deserve to be
No,
there.
he deserves to be an all-star, but to be...
Does he?
Yeah.
I think the situation that he should be in right now is the same as Jamal Murray.
But he shouldn't be making it.
Like he's not. Like he obviously should be an all-star.
I think
he's an all-star caliber player, obviously, of course. But
Dame's probably going off the recency, but he's an all-star.
That's how it works. Though you can't base it off of previous seasons. Like the fact that Klay Thompson still gets votes in these things really bothers me. That shows the system is slightly flawed. I'm
gonna go to the West quickly. So in the front court, obviously, LeBron's at 2 mil, KD at 1.8, and Jokic at 1.6. AD's next on 988k. Then you got Kawhi at 669, PG at 420, and then it goes to Sengun, Wemby, Holmgren, and Kat to fill out the top 10.
There's a chance we might have 2 All-Stars this year.
And then
I thought you would, to be fair.
To the guards,
I think Wemby will end up sneaking in.
You reckon? Nah, I think maybe next year.
Because the media vote is the thing that the media vote it ends up being 25%. It's fan vote that's 50%. Players is 25%. The players just throw their shit away because they start doing nonsense anyway. Yeah. So the thing that will end up being a difference maker will be like who the media vote for. And you're telling me the media ain't gonna vote for him?
I don't think he'll get enough.
Especially when you look at how bad like bigs are in the West. Would you say like him and Chet are sharing third position as the third best big in the West in terms of all-star perspective because of who you want to watch. Like it's them two.
Yeah, true. West guards, Luka's leading it at 1.4 mil.
Racism.
Steph Curry is at 1.3 mil, but very close to Luka, so basically 1.4. You got SGA on 966k. So then there's basically those 3, and there's an absolute humongous jump between the next person and James Harden on 431k. So it's 500k or basically less.
And ain't getting no love.
Kyrie and Ja, De'Aaron Fox, Clay, and Austin Reeves. But the jump is crazy.
Again, like this is just the third. There's 3.
Yeah, we might have 2 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Who's we?
Yeah, Luke and Kyrie in it.
Kyrie's not. based off this. He's got a lot of work to do.
Just wait till the media get involved. Just wait till the media.
Yeah. Kyrie ain't getting it.
Then we'll finish.
Kyrie and Jar.
He ain't got a chance. No chance.
Man said
That's
Amazon
what
link and
got.
bullets. Save. Any last things to add or say before we close up and take our free throws home?
I don't know, any moments of the week, plays of the week, highlights of the week. Mine is obviously one.
I'm gonna say that dunk that LeBron's had on Paul George. That was
You know what I mean?
That's fine.
that was nasty. I'm not gonna
man's
say.
39 years old.
And he flew like that and just
Dunking
yo,
on the Clippers again, do you know what I mean? It's night work
It
now.
was looking mad. Yeah, that boy, Paul George was braining off LeBron, bro.
So he did to the Clippers. Did to the Clippers, bro. Dunking on them.
I'm gonna say my play or I really enjoyed watching the Spurs play the Bucks. Like really enjoyed it because first time that Wemby and Giannis went and played against each other.
Yeah,
Giannis dunked on Wemby. Wemby blocked the fuck out of Giannis.
That was a mad block.
Like so. Also, like I'm not gonna lie. Wemby had a crazy sequence where he like fast break behind the back, dunked it on Lopez.
even the self love was all they done.
I'm just saying, like that was a really, really good. So I'm gonna give that moment, play, whatever you want to call it, of the week. I enjoyed watching. That was a good game to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, Jokic's buzzer beater as well.
Oh, that was.
Do you know what? That felt good because of the whole backstory of the Kuminga situation as well. Like Steve Kerr didn't deserve to win that game after that horrific coaching sequence that he did for them to blow that lead that like they did.
They forgot he got out coached.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. You got the last word on that, isn't it?
the difference.
See the
difference.
He got out coached.
Yeah, Jokic is playing crazy. Apparently, he's hit 39 of his last 44 shots.
It's different now because there's been another game in between. But yeah,
that was prior to his last game.
in 4 games he only missed 5 shots.
Absolutely insane.
This guy,
You know this conversation with him and I know we're gonna talk about it next week, but this conversation of him and Embiid for MVP, like Embiid's getting a lot of shit because he's getting vast majority of his points at the free throw line. Like if he's averaging 30, he's getting like 17 at the free throw line, whereas Jokic is doing it a very, very different way in it, and it's his touch around the basket is ridiculous. Like I watch him lay up like the ball, and he's not doing. He's every time he's putting jelly on every shot.
He's an outstanding finisher at the rim, innit? Yeah.
Put that English on it.
Yeah.
What? Let's say something. Wow.
Oh no! So they're about to sign now. What are you got to
he
say?
definitely knows how to play with that rim.
All right, let's go.
Jillian, please. Jillian.
Over and out, baby.
Follow us on all socials.
What made you go in that verse, man?
What's going on?
What made you? Also, you could have said you definitely knows how to take it to the rim. You said you knows how to
You could have
play with
kept it
the
on
rim.
brand.
What's going on?
No.
What's going on with the Bandem?
Bro, 2024. What happened over the festive period, bro?
Jokic knows how to take it to the rim podcast. Make sure you follow us on all socials.
Nah, man.
Good night.
Good night and over and out again.